of Surah Al-Hamd, the first surah in the Holy Quran, Al-Fatiha, and the Maulana is going to continue, inshallah, the second part of this tafsir.
من الأمور التي انتهينا إليها في درسنا السابق هو أن حمد الإنسان لخالقه يتناسب مع معرفته بالخالق سبحانه وتعالى.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Where we reached.
ونبدأ بالبسملة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآله.
لا زلنا في تفسير سورة الحمد.
We still in the tafsir, the explanation of Surah Al-Fatiha, which is Surah Al-Hamd.
انتهينا في حديثنا السابق إلى أن حمد الإنسان لخالقه يتناسب مع معرفته بالخالق.
We ended our discussion last time is to be grateful and thankful to the Creator is it corresponds how much knowledgeable you know that Creator.
كلما كان عارفا به ملتصقا به متوجها إليه كلما كان حمده أرقى درجة وأكثر ثوابا.
The more the person knows his Creator, stuck with his Creator, and believing in his Creator more and more, the more when he says Alhamdulillah, I'm grateful to Allah, I'm thankful to Allah, his thanking and gratefulness to Allah is in a higher level than a person who doesn't know Allah very well.
ولذا قلنا إن حمدنا نحن البشر العادي المؤمنين العاديين غير حمد المخلصين من الأنبياء والأئمة والصالحين.
That's why we said that when we say Alhamdu, our saying Alhamdu or our gratefulness to Allah, we, the regular human beings, is different than when those who say Alhamdulillah, we are grateful to and thankful to Allah, of those who are truly, sincerely and prophets and messengers of God.
قال تعالى ولا يحيطون به علما ومن لم يحط بالله علما لا يسعه أن يحمد الله حق حمده كما يستحقه.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, and they do not know him well. And those who do not know him well cannot be grateful and thankful to Allah the way he deserves to be thankful and grateful, to be grateful for.
فإن حمدهم حمد غير العارفين فإن حمدهم محدود بحدود معرفتهم. The
gratefulness of those who are not knowing God very well is a limited gratefulness and a limited thankfulness.
وقد يقول قائل ومن حقه أن يقول كيف تدعي ذلك وقد أخبرنا القرآن الكريم أن الملائكة يسبحون بحمده والرعد يسبح بحمده وكل شيء يسبح بحمده.
Somebody can ask this question, and it's true, it's a correct question. How do you say this? And we know that the angels are making tahmid hamdulillah, saying alhamdulillah, we are grateful to Allah. The thunders, everything is saying, and they are saying gratefulness and thankfulness to Allah.
قال تعالى والملائكة يسبحون بحمد ربهم.
And Allah says in the Holy Quran that the angels are making tasbih with the thankfulness, praising and thankfulness and gratefulness to Allah.
قال وإن من شيء إلا يسبح بحمده.
And Allah says in the Holy Quran, and everything praises and gratefulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
وجوابا على ذلك أقول إن الحمد حمدان حمد تكويني وحمد تسبيحي.
And in the answer to this, I say, Alhamd, the gratefulness and thankfulness to Allah is two kinds. One, takwini, and one is this. One is natural creation, thankfulness and gratefulness, and the second is tasbih. And the second one is tashri', put as a law.
الحمد تعبير عن معرفة الله وعن طاعته.
To say thank you, alhamdulillah, gratefulness to Allah is expression of obedience and thankful to God.
والأشياء من حولنا تسبح الله لأنها تطيعه وتنقاد إليه بلا اعتراض وبكل تسليم.
And the elements around us, they are praising Allah and they're obeying Allah because it's natural for them to do that.
فلسان حالها يعرفنا أنها منقادة إليه مسلمة لكل ما يريد.
So its natural tongue shows us and tells us that it is obedience, naturally obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and going to the directions of His orders.
فهي طاعة وحمد بالتكوين والخلقة.
So it is obedience and gratefulness in its creation by the way Allah has created it.
أما حمدنا نحن البشر وطاعتنا نحن البشر ناشئة من الأمر والنهي من قبل الله سبحانه وتعالى.
But we as humans, our gratefulness and thankfulness to Allah is coming from the orders and the something that Allah has told us not to do and to do.
وفي دائرة حريتنا في أن نحمد أو لا نحمد.
And there is within the circle of our own will, we have the ability to be grateful to Allah or not to be grateful.
في أن ننقاد أو لا ننقاد.
Or to be led by Allah or not to be led.
وهذه الحرية هي سر ابتلائنا وسر الثواب وسر العقاب وسر الامتحان.
This circle of freedom that we have is the secret of our tests, it's the secret of our reward and the secret of our punishment.
إن طاعة الأشياء لله حمدها له التكويني هو معلم لنا مرشد لنا بأن نكون مثل الأشياء نطيع الله من دون ونحمده من دون اعتراف.
The gratefulness and thankfulness of the things that are around us, that are by creation they thank Allah, it's a lesson to us and direct us to obey and be thankful and gratefulness to Allah.
لأن انقيادها يذكرنا بعظمة الله وقدرته وبضعفها أمام الله وطاعتها لله سبحانه وتعالى. لأن طاعتها وانقيادها لله يذكرنا بعظمة الله وضعفها أمام الله وانقيادها له من دون اعتراف.
Because the way it is led and its obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it shows us the greatness of the Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
ولذلك أمرنا بأن نتفكر في مخلوقات الله سبحانه وتعالى.
That's why we ordered in the Holy Quran to think and to comprehend about the creation of Almighty God.
قال تعالى الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says those who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala standing up and sitting down and on their sides, they are comprehending and thinking in the creation of the heavens and earth, and they say, our Lord, you did not create all of this for vain. Praise to you, protect us from the punishment of hellfire.
بهذا الاستفادة من معلمنا في هذا العالم من هذا الكون، بهذه الاستفادة ينبغي أن نشكر الله، أن نطيع الله، نطيع أوامره وننتهي عند نواهيه، فنحمده حمدا تشريعيا هو الذي أراد منا ذلك.
So when we look at this lesson from the creation around us, whether it's the heavens, the earth, the sun, the moon, etc., and we see that, then, and we start knowing Allah more and the greatness of Allah, then we, from within, when He told us to obey Him or not obey Him, then we are grateful to Him from our knowledge to Him willingly, and that is called the gratefulness at-tashri'i.
فحمد الأشياء حمدا بالخلقة والتكوين وحمدنا نحن البشر بالتشريع بالأمر والنهي الوارد من الله سبحانه وتعالى.
So the thankfulness and gratefulness of the elements that God has created in this universe is a creation or takwini gratefulness. That means it's in them. But it's tashri'i, that means it's lawful because God put laws. This is forbidden, this is allowed. So how much we obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how much we follow him and stay away from his disobedience, then this is how much we are grateful and thankful to the Creator.
لأننا نعيش الحرية ونملك إرادة الطاعة أو عدم الطاعة، يكون شكرنا لله، حمدنا لله حمدا عظيما له قيمة كبرى.
Because we have the will, the free will, and we can choose whether to obey Him or to disobey Him, then our thanking to Him will be as strong as much as we are obeying Him.
وحمدنا لله يقع على وصفين أو على نوعين. أولهما الحمد بالقول بأن نشكر الله، نذكره ونحمده على ما أنعم علينا بألسنتنا.
And there are two kinds we can do alhamd, or the gratefulness and thankfulness to Allah. First, by saying it, by uttering, by saying thank you Allah, we are grateful to you, alhamdulillah, shukru
فإن حمدنا في القول مترجم لحالتنا النفسية وانقيادنا الروحي لخالقنا سبحانه وتعالى.
Our verbal thanking and gratefulness to Allah, by saying it reflects our inner thanking to Him by saying this gratefulness and thanking.
وشاهد على معرفتنا به وإيماننا به وانقيادنا إليه.
And it be a witness, this gratefulness and thankfulness by words, it will be gratefulness and a witness that we know Him and we are acknowledging that He's our Creator.
أما حمدنا العملي فيراد به واقع حالنا من الطاعة والانقياد بالفعل لا بالقول.
But the practical hamd, the practical gratefulness and thankfulness is when you do it by action, by you obeying Allah what He told you to do and follow His orders.
يجب أن يكون انقيادنا له كانقياد الأشياء تكوينا له.
Our following His law, His orders should be like those elements that God created them and they follow naturally from the creation, like the sun, how it goes, or the moon, or the heavens, how they follow Allah's orders by creation. Our obedience to Him, though it is willingly, it should become to a point as if it's natural creation to be obedient and thankful and grateful to Allah.
من الظلم لأنفسنا أن نحمد الله بالقول ولكننا واقعا لا نحمد الله ولا نشكره على نعمه.
It would be unjust and oppressive to ourselves if we thank Allah and gratefulness to Allah by verbal gratefulness and thanking without and not followed up with the actual practical gratefulness with your actions.
فإن بعض الناس تنظر إلى لسانه وتعبيراته يعبر عن إيمانه بالله وعن حمده وشكره لله، ولكن عندما تنظر إلى واقعه تراه يعيش المعاصي والذنوب، فهنا يكفر بالله كفرا عمليا ويحمد الله حمدا ظاهريا.
Some people, if you look at them in their verbal expressions, they are very well expressing the thankfulness and gratefulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But when you look at their actual practical actions and deeds, you see they're doing sins and disobedience to Allah. So in a way, they are disbelieving in Allah practically, and verbally they are grateful and thankful to Allah.
إن هذا الحمد حمد وراثي نرثه من آبائنا وأمهاتنا، تعلمنا أن نذكر الله وأن نشكر الله بألسنتنا، ولو كنا قد تأملنا في الوجود والمخلوقات وآمنا بالله عن طريق العقل لكان حمدنا حمدا قوليا وحمدا عمليا كذلك.
This kind of gratefulness, verbal gratefulness, we learned it from our fathers and forefathers. But when it comes to our actions, and if we are truly grateful to Allah, we should do it both verbally and practically with our own actions too.
على كل حال الحمد هو الثناء الجميل والشكر الجزيل على ما تفضل الله به علينا من النعم.
In summary, alhamd to Allah is to praise and be grateful and thankful to Allah in what He has blessed us of all these blessings He gave us.
وينبغي أن يكون بالعمل قبل أن يكون بالقول.
And this kind of gratefulness and thankfulness it should be first with your actions and practical deeds before you start uttering verbally.
وينبغي أن يكون الحمد القولي ترجمة للحمد الفعلي.
And the verbal gratefulness and thankfulness should be a reflection of your actions and practices.
فالحمد كل الحمد ولا يستحق الحمد غير الله سبحانه وتعالى.
The gratefulness and thankfulness, all of it, nobody deserves it all except the Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
وقوله تعالى رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الرب في لغة العرب هو الله عز وجل فهو رب كل شيء ومالكه إنه رب الأرباب ومالك الملوك والممالك ولا يقال الرب بالألف واللام لغير الله سبحانه وتعالى.
When we say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, the Rabb, the Lord, is when you say Al-Rabb, it becomes only specific to God. You cannot say to anybody else but Almighty God. And He is the Lord of all the lords. He is the Lord of all kings. He is the owner of this world.
ولا تطلق كلمة الرب على أي شيء على غير الله إلا إذا أزلنا عنها الألف واللام وأضفناها إلى كلمة أخرى.
And the word Al-Rabb, and I'm saying Al-Rabb, that means there's Alif, Lam, before Rabb. There's Rabb and there's Al-Rabb. Al-Rabb, this word cannot be said to anybody except to Allah. But if you take the Alif and Lam out, the introduction to Rabb, if you take the out, the Lord, then you can say Rabb if you add it to something else.
كقولنا رب البيت ورب المزرعة ورب السيارة أي مالكها.
As you say رب البيت, the Lord, the owner of the house, or رب المزرعة, رب السيارة, the one who owns the car or the farm.
مالكها ومدبر أمورها.
He is the one who owns it and who manages its affairs.
فرب أي شيء مالكه ومستحق التصرف فيه.
When you say Rabb something, the Lord of something, He is the owner and He is the deserves to manage it and manage its affairs.
فهنالك رب وهنالك مربوب تقع عليه الربوبية.
There is Rabb, Lord, and there is Marbub, that means owned, like owner and a slave. So there's the owner is like Rabb, the owned is like the owner can do whatever he wants with what's owned.
والرب باعتباره مالكا يتصرف فيما يملك كما يريد.
And when we say the Rabb, since he's the owner, he can do whatever he wants with what he owns.
وقد تستعمل كلمة رب في اللغة العربية بمعنى السيد المطاع.
And the word Rabb in the Arabic world can be used as the obeyed master.
الآمر النافذ أمره على المربوب.
The one who gives order, and his orders should be applied on his entities.
مالكا كان أو غير مالك. لا الرب مالكا كان أو غير مالك.
The Rabb is also whether he is the owner or he is not the owner.
قال تعالى وقل للذي ظن أنه ناج منهما اذكرني عند ربك في قصة يوسف عليه السلام.
In the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, Joseph in the Quran, he said when he was telling one of the two prisoners going out, he told him, and remember me with your Lord.
وكذلك قال يا صاحبي السجن إما أحدكما فيسقي ربه خمرا.
And he said also, Yusuf telling to his two companions in the prison, "O my companions in prison, please remember me, one of you, with your Lord when he is giving him wine."
فقوله اذكرني عند ربك أي عند سيدك.
So when he says, "Remember me with your Lord when you give him wine," that means remember me with your master.
وقوله فيسقي ربه خمرا أي يسقي سيده المطاع خمرا.
And when he says you give wine to your master, to your Lord, that means he's giving his master that he obeys the wine in the story of Yusuf alayhi salam.
فالرب إذن المالك والسيد المطاع، المالك الآمر المطاع.
So Rabb, in other words, is the owner who is the master and being obedient, and he's being obeyed.
وهنا ينبغي أن نقف وقفة تستحقها كلمة رب، هذه الكلمة العظيمة.
That's why we have to stop and think and comprehend the word Rabb, this great word, Rabb, the Lord.
إذا كان الرب يعبر عن المالك فيجب أن نتحدث عن الملكية.
If Rabb expresses the meaning of owner, the owner and the master who is being obeyed, then we must talk about what is this Rabb.
لنرى هل أن رب العالمين كرب العائلة، كرب البيت، كرب المزرعة، أم أنه من نوع آخر.
So we have to think about the word Rabb al-Alameen, the Rabb, the Lord of the universe. Is he the same like Rabb al-Bayt, like the Lord of the house, or Rabb the farm, the Lord of the farm, or the Lord of the car, the owner of the car?
إذا كان الرب تعريف للمالك فإن الملكية نوعان.
So if Rabb is recognizing, defining the ownership, so the ownership then is divided into two kinds.
إن إما ملكية حقيقية وإما ملكية اعتبارية أو شو اسميها؟ إما ملكية واقعية وإما ملكية تشريعية.
So the ownership is divided in two kinds. Either a practical,
حقيقية.
it's a true ownership, or it is a ownership by law given.
وليوضح الفكرة أقول.
To explain the idea.
إذا نظرنا إلى هذا الوجود الذي نعيشه.
If we look at this universe and this that we live in it.
فإن الأشياء تنقسم إلى قسمين.
Things are divided in two kinds.
خالق ومخلوق.
In the whole universe, there are two kinds: a creator and created.
والخالق واحد وكل غير الخالق هو مخلوق لهذا الواحد.
The creator is one, and everything else other than the creator is created to be created by this creator.
والخالق يملك المخلوق ملكا حقيقيا.
And the creator owns what being created, a true ownership.
لأن المخلوق موجود أوجده الله سبحانه وتعالى من العدم.
Because the created became to existence by the creator from nothing.
ويستمر في الوجود أيضا بإسعاف من الله سبحانه وتعالى.
And the created keeps in this existence with the help and support from Almighty God Himself, from the Creator.
فلا وجوده مستقل ولا استمراره في الوجود مستقل.
So the existence of the created is not independent, and its continuous existence will not be independent from the Creator.
في وجوده فقير إلى الله وفي دوام وجوده فقير إلى الله.
In his existence, or for continue to exist, he needs Almighty God, the Creator.
فالذي يملك إيجادنا ودوام وجودنا هو مالكنا الحق.
So the one who owns our existence and our continue to exist is the true ownership of us.
وهذه الحقيقة تنطبق على كل موجود في هذا العالم إلى جانب الله سبحانه وتعالى.
And this fact, this truth, comes to everything that exists in this universe with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
هذا النوع من الملكية لا يتكرر بين الأشياء.
This kind of ownership does not repeat itself among things.
الإنسان أيضا يملك أشياء كثيرة.
Also humans, they own many things.
ويتصرف بها كما يريد.
And he does in its affairs and deal with it the way he likes.
يبيع ويشتري ويغير ويبدل ويطور.
He sells, he buys, he develops, he does things with it.
فهل أن ملكيته كملكية الخالق؟
Is his ownership, the human ownership, when he owns something, is it the same as the ownership of the Creator?
لا يمكن المقارنة بين ملكية الله الخالق للمخلوقات وملكية المخلوق لمخلوق آخر.
You cannot compare the ownership of the Creator to what he created, to all creation that he created, or the ownership of a human to things he did and created.
ملكيتي كمخلوق لبعض المخلوقات الأخرى كالسيارة أو البيت أو المزرعة هي ملكية شرعها الله لي، فهي ليست ملكيتي ليست من عند المشرع المالك الحقيقي.
My ownership to something that we did as being created myself, to own something that I created, for example, a car or a farm or a house, it's not the same as the ownership of Allah. My ownership of things, it's done as a law from Allah. He gave me that.
فملكية الخالق للمخلوق ملكية حقيقية، وملكية المخلوق لبعض المخلوقات ملكية ليست حقيقية وإنما تخويلية خوله الله بها لا أكثر ولا أقل.
So the ownership of Allah to everything else is a true ownership. But the other ownership that from me or from humans to other things, it's an ownership that is given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
إن ملكيتنا للأشياء ملكية ثانوية ليست دائمة ولا ثابتة.
Our ownership to things is a secondary ownership. It's not fixed permanently. It's for a short time.
فنحن أرباب للأشياء التي نملكها ولكن ربوبيتنا ليست دائمة ولا ثابتة.
So we are lords to the things that we own. Okay, but our lordship is not continuous. It's limited to time.
ولولا تشريع الله لهذه الربوبية لنا لما استحق الإنسان أن يكون مالكا للأشياء.
If it wasn't Allah allowed us and made it law for us to own these things, then it will not have been deserved for us to be owners or lordship of these things.
وذلك إذن ملكية حقيقية وملكية تخويلية.
So there is a true ownership and there's a assigned ownership. Thank you. There's a true ownership and there's assigned ownership.
فمالكية الخالق للمخلوق غير مالكية المخلوق لمخلوق آخر.
So the ownership of the creator to the created is different than the ownership of the created to created something else.
ومن هنا ربوبية الله للأشياء هي ربوبية حقيقية، وربوبيتنا لبعض الأشياء هي ربوبية اعتبارية تشريعية تخويلية سميها ما شئت.
So the lordship of Allah to all things is the true lordship, true Rabb, Rububiyyah. Our lordship as a humans to other things that we created is the assigned lordship to these things, and you cannot compare those two.
الله يملك الأشياء ونحن نملك الانتفاع بالأشياء.
Allah owns things and we own to benefit from those things.
وامتلاك المنفعة غير امتلاك الشيء.
And when to own the benefit of something is not the same as owning something.
نخدع أنفسنا عندما نقول نحن نملك الشيء، نحن نملك الانتفاع بالشيء ولا نملك الشيء. نخدع أنفسنا. نغش أنفسنا.
We connive ourselves when we say that we own something. In reality, we own only the benefits of these things.
وإلا فإن الملكية لأي شيء في هذا العالم هي ملكية للخالق المسبب الأسباب وعلة العلل سبحانه وتعالى.
But the true ownership of anything in this universe belongs to Almighty Allah, the one who created things and the one who causes things to be done.
أنت تطور الأشياء، تولد من الأشياء أشياء جديدة، ولكنك لا تملك ملكا حقيقيا.
You may develop things, you may create something out of something, but you truly you do not have the ownership of these things.
فأنت وما تملك ملك لله سبحانه وتعالى.
So you and what you own is in reality, you are, Allah owns you.
وما عندك من قدرة على الخلق والتغيير والتطوير هي ليست من عندك وإنما هي من الله سبحانه وتعالى.
And what you have of strength and energy and mind and everything that makes you able to develop and create things and invent things is really coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to you.
فلا مقارنة بين ربوبية الله للأشياء وربوبيتنا على بعض الأشياء التي ندعي أننا نملكها في هذه الحياة.
So there's no comparison with the lordship of Almighty God on things and our lordship that we claim that we own something and it's ours. Sallallahu Muhammad wa alihi wa sallam.
الحمد لربنا الذي لا يستحق الحمد غيره وكل حمد غير حمده حمد ثانوي لا قيمة له.
I'm translating Alhamd as gratefulness and thankfulness. So Maulana is saying Alhamd, to be grateful and thankful. Other to Allah, nobody deserves to have Alhamd, gratefulness and thankfulness. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deserves Alhamd.
وقوله العالمين إن كلمة عالمين في العربية جمع واحده عالم.
And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Al-Fatiha, Alhamdulillah Rabb Al-Alameen, Al-Alameen is, in the Arabic language, is a plural of one world. One world.
وقيل جمعه عوالم.
And they say the plural of Al-Alam, Awalim.
وعوالم هو جمع لغير العاقل.
And Awalim is a plural for other than wise.
وبما أن الأشياء عاقلة وغير عاقلة جمعت جمعا مذكرا سالما يشمل العاقل وغير العاقل.
And since things are wise and not wise, so it was put in a plural that encompasses wise and not wise.
في اللغة العربية عندما تجمع العاقل مع غير العاقل يقدم العاقل على غير العاقل.
In the Arabic, when you gather the wise and not wise, then you put the wise ahead of the not wise.
فيغلب العاقل على غيره فيجمع جمع العقلاء وهو جمع المذكر السالم.
Then he's using grammar. I don't know how to translate.
بحث لغوي هذا بعد.
It's linguistic. I can't translate it. Sorry about that.
ذكر المفسرون أن العالمين تعني الجن والإنس.
Some people who explain the Quran, they said Al-Alamin means humans and jinn.
واستشهدوا بقوله تعالى الذي نزل الفرقان على عبده ليكون للعالمين نذيرا.
And they gave example of another verse from the Quran.
ونزل الفرقان على
And he brought down the Furqan, which is the book on his worshippers, so he can be for this Alameen as a warner to this universe.
ولم ينذر النبي أحدا غير الجن والإنس.
And the Prophet only gave warning to humans and ins and jinn and humans.
وقيل أن العالمين المقصود بها كل العوالم العاقلة وغير العاقلة.
And some others said this Alameen, it means the wise and not wise world.
وهنا الحمد لله رب العالمين الأصح أنها لكل مخلوق ولا يقصد بها العقلاء من المخلوقين.
And here, when you say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, it means every created, not only the wise and not wise.
اللي عنده عقل المعنى عقل شو يسميه؟
No? When I say wise and not wise, he means the persons things that have brain and think, and things that
كالإنسان والجن.
That don't have a brain. Like ones with a brain like humans and jinn.
لماذا نميل إلى هذا الاستعمال أن كلمة العالمين تعني كل المخلوقات؟
So why do we go into this explanation that al-alamin, the worlds, means all creation?
نحن في مقام الدعاء وفي مقام تفخيم الله وتعظيمه.
We, at the beginning of this Al-Fatiha, we are in a place of praising Allah. We're supplicating and praying to Allah.
وعندما تضخم الخالق وتفخم مكانته تظهر قدرته على خلق العالم.
And when you want to make God great and show His greatness and show Him great, then you have to show all the worlds.
وعظمته في خلق العالم.
And His greatness in the creation of this world, these worlds.
فبقدرته وعظمته يستحق أن نتوجه إليه وحده.
With His ability and His creation and His greatness, He deserves only our gratefulness and thankfulness.
ونضع حاجاتنا بين يديه.
And then we put our needs among His hands.
ونسأله العون والمساعدة.
And we seek and ask Him His help and support.
ونعده بأن لا نعبد غيره كما سنرى في الآيات القادمة.
And we will be, as we see in the coming verses, we promise Him that we worship none but Him.
فهو رب الخلق كل الخلق العاقل وغير العاقل.
He is the God of all creation. Those are with brains and those who are not with brains.
الحي وغير الحي.
The living and not living.
ما مضى وما بقي وما سوف يأتي في المستقبل.
Whatever past, whatever present, and whatever is going to come in the future.
فرب العالمين العقلاء وغير العقلاء الأموات والأحياء الموجودون اليوم والذين وجدوا بالأمس وسيوجدون في المستقبل كونه خالقا لكل هذه الأشياء فمن المناسب أن نستعمل كلمة العالمين في كل مخلوقات الله سبحانه وتعالى وليس المقصود بها العقلاء فقط.
So the Lord of the universe, the Alameen, the whole universe, is those who are with brains or not brains, those who came before us and passed and went, and those who are present and those who will come in the future. So He deserves only Him to be the Lord of all these things.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين.
Allah.